Imagine opening your door and stepping onto a balcony, patio, or even a tiny backyard, and harvesting fresh, sun-warmed fruit straight from a tree growing in a pot. No large garden, no orchard rows, no greenhouse required, just compact, healthy fruit trees thriving in containers and rewarding you with real homegrown harvests. It might sound unrealistic, but it absolutely isn't. With the right varieties and properly sized containers, you can successfully grow apples, peaches, lemons, figs, cherries, and more, even if your entire outdoor space is barely bigger than a welcome mat. In today's video, we're exploring 8 incredible fruit trees that are perfectly suited for pots and small spaces. These productive, space-saving trees are ideal for balconies, patios, courtyards, rooftops, or even bright indoor locations. They stay naturally compact, produce surprisingly flavorful fruit, and add beauty throughout the year, like proving that anyone, anywhere can create their own mini orchard. Let's get started. 1. Dwarf apple trees. Classic orchard taste, container-friendly size. We begin with a true favorite, apples. There are few gardening moments more satisfying than picking a crisp, juicy apple straight from your own tree. And thanks to dwarf and columnar varieties, you can enjoy that experience even in the smallest outdoor space. Compact options like Golden Sentinel, North Pole, Honeycrisp, and Pixie Crunch typically grow just 5 to 8 feet tall, yet they still produce full-sized apples with rich traditional flavor. Choose a strong, heavy pot at least 20 inches wide, and make sure it has excellent drainage. Apple trees hate sitting in wet soil. Fill the container with high-quality potting mix and blend in compost to support healthy growth and steady fruiting. Apples thrive in sunlight, so aim for 6 to 8 hours of direct sun each day. A sunny balcony, patio corner, or driveway edge is often more than enough. Many apple trees produce better when cross-pollinated, so planting 2 compatible varieties can significantly increase your harvest. Limited on space? Look for self-fertile options such as Fuji, Liberty, or Golden Delicious. Water consistently throughout the growing season, keeping the soil evenly moist but never waterlogged. Feed your tree with a balanced fruit tree fertilizer in early spring and again in midsummer to support fruit development. Pruning plays a major role in container success. Regular trimming keeps the tree compact, improves airflow, and encourages better fruit production. Remove crossing branches, open the center slightly, and shape the tree so sunlight reaches every limb. And apples don't just reward you with fruit. In spring, the tree bursts into soft pink and white blossoms that fill the air with a gentle sweetness, transforming even a small patio into a miniature orchard scene. By late summer or early fall, those blossoms mature into clusters of glossy apples, ready for fresh snacking, baking, or juicing. Few container fruit trees offer such beauty and productivity in one compact package. 2. Dwarf peach trees. Orchard-quality fruit in a tiny space. Next up, peaches. One of the most indulgent fruits you can grow at home. There's nothing quite like biting into a warm peach picked straight from the tree. Its juice and fragrance impossible to compare with store-bought fruit. And yes, you can grow that same experience right on your patio. Dwarf varieties such as Bonanza, Pix, Z, and El Dorado stay pleasantly compact, usually around 4 to 6 feet tall, yet still deliver generous harvests of large, sweet peaches. Start with a container at least 18 to 24 inches wide and deep. Peaches appreciate space for their roots, and good drainage is essential. Use a fast-draining potting mix enriched with compost for best results. These trees love the sun, so give them a minimum of 6 hours of direct light daily. Water regularly to keep the soil evenly moist, but never allow it to stay soggy. Peaches dislike wet roots. In early spring, dwarf peach trees steal the show with vibrant pink blossoms that are both eye-catching and fragrant. Pollinators flock to them, and soon after the flowers swell into fuzzy green fruit that ripens from mid to late summer. Feed your peach tree with a fertilizer higher in potassium and phosphorus to encourage strong flowering and fruit development. After harvesting, prune lightly to remove dead wood, improve airflow, and maintain a tidy shape. In colder climates, move the pot to a sheltered outdoor location or an unheated garage once the tree goes dormant. Protecting the roots from deep freezes helps ensure a healthy return in spring. Even a single dwarf peach tree can produce 20 to 40 fruits per season. Plenty for fresh eating, desserts, preserves, smoothies, and sharing. With stunning spring blossoms, delicious summer fruit, and warm autumn foliage, dwarf peach trees are as decorative as they are productive, making them a standout choice for container growing. 3. Meyer lemon, the ultimate balcony citrus. If there's one fruit tree that truly shines in container gardening, it's the Meyer lemon. This citrus variety proves that you don't need a large space to grow something extraordinary. Compact, elegant, and incredibly productive, the Meyer lemon feels right at home on balconies, patios, small courtyards, or even beside a sunny window indoors. What makes it special is its unique heritage. Meyer lemons are a natural hybrid between a classic lemon and a mandarin orange. The result is a fruit with a thinner skin, a gentler acidity, and a sweeter, more fragrant flavor. It's perfect for fresh lemonade, cocktails, desserts, marinades, and adding bright citrus notes to everyday cooking. Despite its manageable size, usually between 3 and 6 feet tall, this tree can produce an impressive number of lemons throughout the year. With enough light, it flowers and fruits continuously, making it one of the most rewarding container-grown trees available. Sunlight is critical. Place your Meyer lemon where it can receive 6 to 8 hours of direct sun each day. The more light it gets, the stronger its growth and fruit production will be. Choose a spacious container, ideally 18 to 24 inches wide, with excellent drainage. Citrus roots are sensitive to standing water, so use a fast-draining soil mix. A citrus-specific potting blend works best, or create your own by mixing compost with coarse sand and perlite. Water deeply but infrequently. Allow the top inch of soil to dry before watering again, then soak the container thoroughly until excess water drains out. This deep watering cycle mirrors the natural conditions citrus trees prefer. Regular feeding is essential. Citrus trees are heavy feeders, so apply a high-quality citrus fertilizer every 4 to 6 weeks, from spring through early fall. This keeps the foliage lush and supports steady flowering and fruit development. One of the Meyer lemon's biggest advantages is its adaptability. In colder regions, simply bring the pot indoors before frost arrives. Place it near a bright south-facing window and maintain moderate humidity by misting occasionally. Under these conditions, the tree often continues to flower and fruit indoors. The blossoms themselves are a highlight, intensely fragrant, filling your home with a fresh, tropical scent. Few plants offer such a combination of beauty, aroma, and productivity. Imagine harvesting a ripe, golden lemon indoors while snow falls outside. That's the magic of the Meyer lemon. A living blend of elegance, fragrance, and homegrown flavor in a single container. 4. Dwarf cherry trees. Orchard sweetness in compact form. Next, we turn to one of the most charming container fruit trees you can grow, the dwarf cherry. Cherries are often associated with vast orchards and towering trees, but modern dwarf varieties have changed everything. These compact trees make it possible to enjoy the full cherry growing experience, even on a balcony or patio. Cultivars like Stella, Lapins, Sweetheart, and Compact Stella are ideal for containers. They typically reach just 6 to 8 feet in height, while still producing full-sized cherries with deep color and rich sweetness. Start with a strong, stable container at least 20 inches wide and deep. Good drainage is essential. Fill the pot with a fertile potting mix enhanced with compost or well-aged manure. Cherries prefer slightly acidic soil that stays evenly moist without becoming soggy. Full sun is non-negotiable. Aim for at least 6 to 8 hours of direct sunlight each day. More sun leads to better flowering, stronger growth, and larger harvests. Spring is when dwarf cherry trees truly steal the spotlight. Before the leaves even emerge, branches become covered in soft pink and white blossoms, creating a stunning display that rivals ornamental cherry trees. It's like hosting your own miniature cherry blossom season right at home. After flowering, clusters of shiny red cherries begin to form and usually ripen by early summer. You'll know they're ready when they deepen in color and soften slightly to the touch. Sweet varieties such as Stella and Lapins are delicious straight off the branch. Juicy, rich, and bursting with flavor. Most dwarf cherry trees are self-fertile, meaning a single tree can produce fruit on its own. However, growing two compatible varieties often increases yield and improves fruit quality. Feed your tree in early spring with a balanced fertilizer and again after harvest to help it recover. Prune lightly in late winter to maintain shape, remove dead wood, and improve airflow. In colder climates, remember that container-grown trees have more exposed roots. Protect the pot with burlap or move it to a sheltered location when temperatures drop below freezing. Beyond their harvest, dwarf cherry trees offer year-round beauty. Breathtaking spring blossoms, glossy summer fruit, and warm golden red foliage in autumn. Few things compare to stepping outside on a sunny morning and picking fresh cherries from your own compact tree. It's orchard-quality fruit scaled perfectly for modern living. 5. Calamandan orange, a tiny citrus tree with big personality. If you love citrus trees for their scent, beauty, and character, but don't have space for something large, the Calamandan orange is a perfect match. This charming miniature citrus delivers far more than its size suggests. Imagine a compact tree just a few feet tall, covered in glossy dark green leaves, delicate white blossoms that smell incredible, and clusters of bright orange fruits that look like tiny mandarins. It instantly brings warmth and a tropical feel to patios, balconies, and even indoor spaces. Most Calamandan trees stay between 3 and 5 feet tall, yet they're surprisingly productive. Mature plants can hold dozens, sometimes even hundreds, of fruits at once. One of their most impressive traits is that they're ever-bearing. It's common to see flowers, unripe fruit, and ripe oranges all sharing the branches at the same time. The fruit itself is small, roughly the size of a golf ball and packed with flavor. The peel is mildly sweet, while the flesh is bold and tangy, a bright citrus punch somewhere between a lemon and a mandarin. Calamandans are widely used in marmalades, syrups, desserts, cocktails, and savory dishes, especially in Southeast Asian and Filipino cuisine. What truly makes this citrus stand out is how well it performs indoors. Unlike many citrus trees that struggle as houseplants, the calamandan actually adapts beautifully to indoor conditions. Place it in the sunniest spot you have, ideally near a south or west-facing window, and it will reward you with healthy growth and frequent blooms. Soil requirements are simple. Use a light, fast-draining potting mix and choose a container with excellent drainage. Keep the soil evenly moist but never saturated. When the top inch feels dry, it's time to water. During spring and summer, feed regularly with a citrus fertilizer to support continuous flowering and fruiting. Occasional misting helps maintain humidity, and during winter, a nearby humidifier can prevent leaf drop caused by dry indoor air. Pruning is minimal. Just remove any wayward branches to maintain a neat, rounded shape. Beyond its productivity, the calamandan is a true ornamental gem. The combination of lush foliage, fragrant blossoms, and glowing orange fruit makes it look like a living work of art. Few things spark conversation faster than a small citrus tree glowing in a sunny window, especially when you casually mention that you make your own marmalade from it. For gardeners who want something beautiful, compact, easy to care for, and endlessly rewarding, the calamandan orange is hard to beat. 6. Fig trees. Mediterranean flavor in a container. Next, we turn to one of the most ancient and beloved fruit trees in human history, the fig. Figs have been grown for thousands of years across the Mediterranean, the Middle East, and beyond. They symbolize abundance, warmth, and sweetness. And surprisingly, they're perfectly suited to container gardening. In fact, figs often perform better in pots than in open ground. They naturally tolerate root restriction, which helps keep their size manageable while encouraging fruit production. In containers, they develop bold, tropical-looking leaves and produce rich, flavorful fruit that feels straight out of a Mediterranean landscape. For pots, choose compact, container-friendly varieties such as Petite Negra, Brown Turkey, Celeste, or Little Miss Figgy. These cultivars stay relatively small while delivering excellent harvests. Petite Negra is especially impressive, often fruiting while still very young and compact. Use a large container, ideally 18 to 24 inches wide and deep, with excellent drainage. Figs enjoy consistent moisture but cannot tolerate waterlogged roots. A blend of compost, garden soil, and perlite or coarse sand creates the perfect balance. Sunlight is essential. Place your fig tree where it can receive full sun throughout the day. In cooler climates, positioning the pot near a warm wall or sunlit patio helps capture extra heat, which improves fruit ripening and overall growth. As summer progresses, small pear-shaped figs begin forming along the branches. Depending on the variety, they ripen into shades of deep purple, bronze, or golden amber. When they soften slightly and begin to droop, they're ready to harvest. Inside, the flesh is soft, jam-like, and intensely sweet, with flavors reminiscent of honey, caramel, and ripe fruit. Many fig trees offer 2 harvests per year, an early crop followed by a larger late summer or early fall yield. That means twice the reward from a single container-grown tree. Care is refreshingly simple. Prune lightly during dormancy to maintain shape and remove weak or crowded branches. Feed in spring with a balanced or organic fertilizer, and again mid-season if growth is vigorous. In colder regions, figs need winter protection. Once dormant, move the pot into a frost-free garage, shed, or basement. Leaf drop is completely normal. The tree will return with fresh growth when spring arrives. Even when not fruiting, fig trees are stunning. Their large, sculptural leaves instantly give any space a relaxed Mediterranean atmosphere. Imagine a warm evening, the soft rustle of fig leaves in the air, and the satisfaction of picking a perfectly ripe fig from your own tree. That's the magic of container gardening. Timeless flavor and old-world charm right outside your door. 7. Dwarf pomegranate, a jewel for compact gardens. If you're looking for a plant that combines striking beauty, meaningful symbolism, and edible rewards, the dwarf pomegranate stands in a class of its own. Often described as the crown jewel of patio gardens, this miniature version of the classic pomegranate tree adds bold color, warmth, and character to balconies, terraces, and sunny indoor spaces. When it begins to flower, it instantly steals the spotlight. The branches burst with vivid orange-red blooms, shaped like tiny lanterns or flared bells. Against the deep green, glossy foliage, the blossoms appear to glow, like sparks dancing in the sunlight. Even before fruit appears, the plant is already a showstopper. Then comes the magic moment. The flowers slowly transform into small, rounded pomegranates. These miniature fruits ripen into rich bronze or crimson tones, filled with jewel-like seeds that shimmer when cut open. While smaller than store-bought pomegranates, their flavor is wonderfully balanced. Sweet, tangy, and unmistakably rich. Watching this entire process unfold on a patio or balcony feels deeply rewarding. It's like witnessing a small miracle each season. Beauty turning into nourishment right before your eyes. The most popular dwarf variety, Punica granatum nana, usually stays around 2 to 3 feet tall, making it perfect for containers. Another excellent choice is State Fair, known for heavy flowering and fully edible compact fruit. Caring for a dwarf pomegranate in a pot is refreshingly easy. These plants thrive in full sun, and the more light they receive, the more generously they bloom and fruit. Thanks to their Mediterranean heritage, they tolerate heat exceptionally well and handle short, dry spells better than many fruit trees. Plant them in a fast-draining soil mix. Cactus or citrus blends are ideal. Water thoughtfully, allowing the top layer of soil to dry slightly between waterings. Too much water is one of the few things they truly dislike. During spring and summer, a monthly feeding with a balanced fertilizer keeps growth strong and supports flowering. As fall approaches, gradually reduce watering and feeding so the plant can slow down naturally. In cooler climates, overwintering is simple. Once nighttime temperatures fall below about 40 degrees Fahrenheit, 4 degrees Celsius, move the pot indoors and place it near a bright window. Even without fruit, its compact shape and glossy leaves make it an attractive indoor plant. When spring returns, move it back outside and it will quickly wake up, bloom again, and begin a new cycle of color and fruit. Beyond its visual appeal and taste, the pomegranate carries centuries of symbolism: abundance, renewal, prosperity, and good fortune. Growing one feels less like gardening and more like tending a living emblem of positivity. For anyone seeking a plant that's decorative, meaningful, and delicious, the dwarf pomegranate is a truly special choice, even for the smallest spaces. 8. Dwarf pear trees, elegant form with generous harvests. If any fruit tree embodies quiet elegance, it's the pear. With their upright posture, slender trunks, and gently arching branches, pear trees have a refined beauty that never goes out of style. Thanks to modern dwarf cultivars, this classic orchard tree can now thrive in containers and compact gardens. Container-friendly pear varieties such as Garden Belle, Concord, Patio Pear, and Urban Treasure typically reach just 6 to 8 feet tall. Despite their modest size, they produce full-sized pears with the same juicy texture and rich flavor found in traditional orchard trees. In early spring, these trees are covered in clouds of delicate white blossoms. Their light fragrance attracts bees and butterflies, turning your patio into a small but lively ecosystem. As summer unfolds, the flowers give way to young green pears that slowly mature into golden, blushed, or russet-colored fruit, depending on the variety. There's something undeniably special about harvesting perfectly shaped pears from a tree growing in a pot just steps from your door, like having a personal orchard in miniature. Growing dwarf pears in containers is simpler than many people expect. Start with a sturdy pot at least 20 inches wide and deep. Use a fertile, well-draining soil blend enriched with compost or well-rotted manure. Pears prefer slightly acidic conditions, so adding peat moss or pine bark can be beneficial. Full sun is essential. Aim for 6 to 8 hours daily to ensure strong flowering and reliable fruiting. Keep the soil consistently moist during the growing season, especially while fruit is developing, but never allow the roots to sit in water. Even moisture leads to better texture and flavor in the fruit. Most pear trees benefit from cross-pollination, meaning yields improve when two compatible varieties grow nearby. Fortunately, this doesn't require extra space. You can place 2 different dwarf pears in separate containers close together. Choose a partially or fully self-fertile variety, such as Conference or Concord. Select a multi-grafted tree with 2 varieties growing on a single trunk. Feed the tree in early spring using a slow-release fruit tree fertilizer, and top up the soil with compost once or twice a year. Prune in late winter to remove crossing or weak branches, and keep the canopy open for sunlight and airflow. If the tree sets a heavy crop, thin the fruit in early summer, leaving several inches between pears. This allows the remaining fruit to grow larger, sweeter, and more aromatic. Most pear varieties ripen from late summer into early autumn. A ripe pear will lift easily from the branch with a gentle twist. You can harvest them slightly firm. Pears continue to ripen beautifully off the tree. Beyond their fruit, dwarf pear trees are graceful ornamental plants. Their structure is elegant, their seasonal transitions are captivating, and their harvest is the perfect reward at the end of each growing year. For gardeners who value refinement, productivity, and compact design, a dwarf pear tree is an exceptional choice. Not just a plant, but a living piece of garden art that grows sweeter with time.